What's up, Nerdgenic Nation? Superhero nerd Aaron Waller here, and today I want to talk about the recent leaks surrounding Black Adam that comes out in just a few days as of the recording of this video, but more specifically, I want to talk about the return of Henry Cavill as Superman and what that could mean going forward. Now, it's been long thought that Cavill was done with the role and likely on the move to the MCU after his last outing in Justice League and not returning to redo any scenes in Zack Snyder's Justice League. So it was long thought that WB was on the move and looking for a new Man of Steel with the Michael B. Jordan produced Superman film. But now the tables of Warner Bros. And DC have once again taken a wild turn, and Cavill is back as Superman. It's been leaked that he returns in a post-credit scene in Black Adam, and that The Rock has always planned for his return and has been campaigning for it. Now, I'm not going to get into why I think The Rock sabotaged his own movie just to get more people to come and see it, only to confirm if Cavill has returned or not, but what I do want to talk about is what Cavill's return could ultimately mean for the long-thought destroyed Snyderverse. From what I can see, and despite reports of Warner Bros. Execs not being happy about the Snyder Cut even happening, not even WB can ignore the blaring success and reception to the Snyder Cut versus the original. They simply can't ignore the success of what Zack Snyder built, despite their efforts to make us all forget and start from scratch again. I mean, how could they do it in a decent way anyway? Jason Momoa still has Aquaman 2 coming out and will feature Ben Affleck's Batman to some degree. Gal Gadot still has Wonder Woman 3 in development. Ezra Miller's Flash is still likely going to get released despite his outlandish behavior, and that was meant to be Affleck's final performance as Batman. The biggest DC question mark was always Cavill, but now it seems he is back and even has Man of Steel 2 in development, which to me means that after all the years of speculation, some higher up used the ultimate Uno reverse and said Ezra Miller will destroy his career despite him being the likely base of the future of the DCEU, and will instead have fan favorite Cavill, Affleck, and Gadot return. Though I'm still really sad Ray Fisher won't get to return, but that conversation is for another day. So what do I think will happen? Definitely not so much a continuation of the Snyderverse, because I don't foresee Snyder returning unless Warner Bros. And DC really suck it up and brought him back into the fold. What I do think will happen though is more of a pivot to a new DC. They'll likely keep things like the Batman and Joker separate. Flash will obviously have to be recast, but that opens the door for another Flashpoint-esque opportunity, but I think most of the DCEU itself will remain. We will likely get a lighter version of Superman that we've seen in the past, which isn't necessarily a bad thing though. Cavill has the charisma to shine through a bit more if this change does happen. I mean, brooding is Batman's job, and it would be nice to have a little bit more contrast between the two, but I also don't think we'll be seeing the return of the red underwear of Brandon Routh or Christopher Reeve Superman coming at all, and it would be just a little bit too much, especially after everything that we've already been through with this character. I think he just needs a little tweak in the optimism department. But as for future stories we could be seeing for Superman, they could go in a variety of directions. I personally hope that they steer clear of anything related to Krypton, but the likelihood of that happening is probably slim to none, as they'll want to return the character to his roots and take it back to basics or something like that. But I would actually like to see the opposite. Superman is a larger-than-life character, and they should lean into that by going with a story related to Brainiac if they want to do something more cosmic, Bizarro if they wanted to continue the story of what happened when the world was without Superman and the response to it at the end of Batman vs. Superman, or just simply focus on a brand new Lex Luthor vs. Superman story, considering he's so synonymous with Superman and was so poorly received when he was portrayed by Jesse Eisenberg. I even wouldn't be opposed to a continuation of the Nightmare sequence and the Snyder Cut final scene, but considering they involve several now controversial actors and characters, I find that even less likely than them wanting to give Snyder another shot. They could even build further into a team up with Zachary Levi Shazam to fight Black Adam as they did in a DC animated short film back in 2010, and though that could be cool, I'm not sure if that light of a tone is ideal for this Superman either. I would simply love to just see something that we haven't seen from Superman on the big screen, whether that be a villain or just a new direction for the character who in today's age is often considered to be a bit boring despite being a cornerstone for superheroes and comics in general. So those are my thoughts, and now I want to hear from you in the Nerdgenic community. What do you think of Henry Cavill's return as Superman? Do you think that we'll see any changes in the character? What would you like to see in the Man of Steel sequel? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos from me or the rest of the Nerdgenic team. And also be sure to give us a follow across all social media platforms at Nerdgenic. That way you don't miss out on any special news, announcements, or articles at nerdgenic.com. But in the meantime, if you want even more DC content from us, check out this playlist right over here. And if you love comics like I do, check out this history of playlist where I give you the comic book history of various heroes and villains right over here. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you in the next video.